Chelsea Football Club, at this moment in time, Garnacho is begging us to join. Garnacho is actively saying, get me to this club, and the quotes that are coming out are absolutely hilarious, but Chelsea are no worse. Furthermore, Donnarumma is leaving PSG, Manchester United, Man City, and Chelsea have all been linked. 2 of them have been ruled out. We're going to talk about that. Then we need to talk about Christopher Nkunku. I thought after the Club World Cup, there'll be clubs queuing up to take him. There'll be clubs queuing up to take him for his services. However, nobody's around. Max Eberl at Bayern Munich and him have a brilliant relationship, and there's reports coming out that this might help. And finally, I forgot that Fofana existed. Well, it looks like that Fofana and Axel Deassi have got an option from a Premier League club for a combined offer. Sit down, because it's going to shock you, £45 million. Yes, somebody's willing to pay £45 million for those 2 players. So, before we get started, 3 things. Number 1, hit that like button. 1,500 likes is what we're aiming for on this channel. It's you paying your rent. It's you supporting the channel. I do it for free, and you can support me. Secondly, subscribe. If you like football related content and you like Chelsea content on a daily basis that doesn't take up more than 20 minutes of your time, this is your home. This is where you're going to come on a daily basis. Trust me, we average around about 10,000 views. It's because people like what they get here. Get in and get out. And finally, I gave you my EPL predictions for the 25-26 seasons. At the end of the video, I've got it for you guys. Click on the link, go check it out. Not a lot of you went and watched it. YouTube wasn't suggesting it, but I know you lot enjoy this stuff. So it will be there. Let's get started. Chelsea Football Club has basically made us all accept that Garnacho's coming. I no longer even see anyone questioning the idea that he's coming. It's almost a matter of when, not if. So for me, when I see quotes from Fabrizio Romano that Garnacho has told Manchester United, it's either Chelsea or I sit for the next 6 to 12 months because I'm not going anywhere else. It makes me laugh. It essentially highlights 2 things. Number 1, we are bloody massive. We are massive. The fact I never thought when I was growing up, right, Manchester United would have an academy graduate force his way out for them to us. That was never in question. Genuinely. Man United were massive. But how things have changed since Fergie's left. Now we are the big dogs in town. We are Roman Reigns. We run this place. And secondly, I think the biggest one of all is, I don't understand why he only wants to join us. It is so weird. It is absolutely bonkers. But Fabrizio comes out and says Chelsea can't wait to welcome Garnacho in. Listen, whatever's happening, this deal's going to happen, right? I don't know whether it's going to happen on the last day of the season, whether it's going to happen now. As soon as the transfer window approaches the end, Garnacho will be concluded. It's a matter of the fee. Manchester United want 50 million. Chelsea want 30 million, and now we need to negotiate what's going to happen. I'm thinking Chelsea need to be a little bit more cheeky. And people are going to say, why are you saying that? I think Chelsea need to ask for 25 million. Loan in a 25 million obligation. Sancho style. The problem here is, right, United aren't going to fall for it again. Some people said this makes Garnacho look very bad. It does. Like, it really does. If these quotes are true, that Fabrizio is coming out with, it makes him look horrible. Because this is a kid that came through their academy. This is a kid that they've given a lot to. He has given back. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't played for free. He, like, you know what I mean? Like, he scored goals for them. He's contributed to them. Problem is that the relationship's torn. And the reason why I think Chelsea can be so arrogant and, you know, like, push the boat a little bit is because of what Ruben Amorim done. I'm a big Ruben Amorim fan. You will know. However, I think it's a big mistake that it leaked that he told him, you better pray you find a new club because you're never playing for me again, or something along those lines, like call your agent after the final. Because what it did was it shut the door. Now, if Garnacho comes back into his squad, Ruben Amorim looks like a waste man. He doesn't look like a leader. His word doesn't mean anything. He is basically going back on his own rules. I don't think that can happen. I think Amorim won't allow it to happen. I think there's more chance of him walking out if they tell him you have to play Garnacho than him playing Garnacho. I think he's a principled man. The second thing, and I think the biggest one of all of this is, people are saying, what if he comes into our dressing room and destroys it? Guys, our dressing room doesn't mean nothing if one 20-year-old can come in and destroy it. Because think about it. What have we all been saying? Leadership, leadership, leadership. Everybody's been saying it out of their mouth. Reece James, Divock Colwell, Enzo, Caicedo, Gusto. They've all been coming out with the right words. Mentality screwed on. Everybody is locked in. If Garnacho is the piece that comes in and breaks it all, how strong was it really? That's the question you always have to ask. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the argument of, oh, if you trust your relationship, just because someone slid into your girl's DMs, does that actually mean now all of a sudden your relationship is broken? No, you should trust her enough to say, I'm not even replying to that, block, move, keep it stepping. And in this situation, if Garnacho comes into our dressing room, is our dressing room morale that weak that one person could destroy everything? I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. I believe in this squad really well. The next piece of news is regarding Donnarumma. And Donnarumma and Chelsea is a link that is now finally starting to go away. And I'm not happy about it because I want Donnarumma. However, I understand the argument of when people don't want him. I feel like we've really changed our tune as Chelsea fans. Let me tell you what happened and then we'll come back to the Chelsea thing. Donnarumma basically is in line for a new contract. Next year, he's a free agent. What has happened is the contract between him and PSG has broken down and the contacts are basically all but non-existent. PSG have released a statement saying he needs to leave politely. He's not in the Super Cup squad. I think that's extremely wild considering 8 weeks ago they won the Champions League together. They were playing in a Club World Cup final together. The fact that they tore that relationship up and threw it away is wild. But, and this is a big but, they wanted to get him on an incentive-based contract, the way that Chelsea have it. However, the player didn't want it. The player wanted a big base and bonuses on top of that. He believes he's worth it. He wants the old-style contracts. And at the end of the day, it's a negotiation. Both parties have their own right to decide what they want to do. So it's time for them to pick what way they're going to go. The key here is, though, how does Chelsea play? And Fabrizio says Chelsea have no conversations with Donnarumma's camp. Chelsea are happy with their goalkeepers. Manchester United the same. He's going to Manchester City by the looks of it. Does he improve them? Yes. Does he fit there? Not really. However, he's a brilliant keeper. You know, he's a very good shot stopper. He's a top keeper, meaning they're going to make it work. With Chelsea, I'm lost. And you know, I don't understand what our fan base wants, because if you literally go back and watch my content from March, this is the beauty of doing YouTube and this is the beauty of Kavkas View. Everything I say is documented. In March, when he was dropped after the Brighton games, right, the narrative was anyone but Sanchez. Like, that was the definitive narrative. He's going to cost us top 4. He's a terrible keeper. But then what happened is Sanchez started playing well. And I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, now, until the Club World Cup, Sanchez was absolutely reliable. And I don't use that word lightly. He was reliable. He's been doing what he needs to do. His mistakes were at a minimal. When he made a mistake, he wasn't getting punished. So it's at a point where people now have accepted Sanchez for what he is. A shaky goalkeeper. The problem is people now are overrating him, in my opinion. Because what is happening is people are saying Donnarumma is not an upgrade. Mike Maignan is not an upgrade. We need a super upgrade. And I'm asking you, then who is that upgrade? Give me the name. Because what everyone keeps telling me is they're waiting for Penders. But what if Penders needs 2 years, 3 years? Is Sanchez going to be our number 1 for the next few years? I honestly am yet to be convinced that you can win a Premier League with Robert Sanchez as your keeper. That's just my personal opinion. And this is the question I want to ask all of you now. And I think it's super important that I ask you it. Where do you sit with Robert Sanchez? Are you happy with Sanchez being our number 1 and wait for Penders? Or if you want to go to the market, I need a name. You can't just say, yes, I want to go to the market. I need a name. Who's the name? Give me the name. Christopher Nkunku is a player that at this moment in time is left in limbo. And I genuinely feel sorry for him because I'm not going to lie to you. I've been hoodwinked. I've been sold a dream. I've been convinced that Nkunku can do a role next year. And all it took was a Club World Cup. I'm embarrassed. I genuinely am. The fact that I can sit here right now and say, I was ready to give this guy away for a bag of chips and like a cab fare to the airport. Like, just get him out of my club, to the point now where I'm like, yo, can we reintegrate him? He's moving again. He's actually a good footballer again. This little inverted role works for him from the wing. And the problem is, no one wants him. And I don't understand what's going on. Because what happened is, in January, according to reports from Fabrice Hawkins, and when Fabrice talks, I listen, because Fabrice is my favorite journalist, right? Fabrice said Max Erbel, who I think is the sporting director or the president of Bayern Munich, and Nkunku's camp had an agreement. The wages were agreed. It was a matter of getting the fee. Chelsea wanted 70 million euros. I famously came and said, there is no way Chelsea are getting 70 million euros. There's more chance I could go for 70 pounds, right? I could go for 70 pounds. Bayern would pay 70 pounds for me, then pay 70 million euros. And trust me, I can't play at that level. I don't think I could play semi-pro, let alone play at the top level. So now the fees dropped, and the fees somewhere between 40 to 50 million euros. So the encouragement, and Fabrice Hawkins said, is the expectation is Bayern might come back in, especially now that Kingsley Coman has moved to Al Nassr. He's joined Joao Felix and Cristiano Ronaldo. Chelsea could have a deal on their hands. And this, in my opinion, is what is holding up the Xavi Simons deal. The problem is, I don't see Bayern paying 40 to 50 million euros for him. And we're stuck in that predicament now of what do we do? Because you can't just go buy Xavi Simons. Because if you buy Xavi Simons, right, and Simons comes in and plays for Chelsea, and Chelsea Football Club have Simons, you all of a sudden have created a player issue where you need to now take Nkunku, put him in the bomb squad, and you've got a nearly 200k a week asset, unhappy, not contributing, doing nothing. You're throwing money down the toilet. When in reality, you could reintegrate him and he's the emergency option behind Cole Palmer, behind Gittins, and in the worst case, third choice striker. You have a scenario there. What would you do if you can't sell Nkunku? Do you buy Simons and just deal with losing money on a weekly basis? Do you lower the fee for Nkunku and take a loss? Let me know, because we need to find a way out of this problem, and it's a big problem. The final piece of news is from someone called Sebastian Vidal. So apparently Sebastian Vidal is a reporter, and he is claiming Wolverhampton have been in contact with Chelsea and are inquiring, and talks have started to purchase Axel Deassi and Datro David Fofana. First of all, Axel Deassi, I don't see him going to Wolves. I can't believe I'm about to say this, I think he's too good for Wolves. Look, the way a transfer works is, Club A wants to buy a player, Club B needs to be willing to sell the player. The problem here is, this isn't the NBA. It's not between the two teams. There's a third party. The third party is the player. The player will either accept the deal or reject the deal. Deassi will not go to a relegation battle inside. Deassi will want to go to a team that is playing in Europe, Europa League football minimum. And for me, now we're in a little bit of a predicament where Chelsea want 25 to 30 million pounds for Deassi. I personally think anyone paying that kind of money for Deassi, you need to get your brain checked, because I don't think he's good enough. He's 26, 27 years old. 25 to 30 million pounds. You can go get a good prospect that is as good as Deassi now and could have a ceiling that's going to be better. Genuinely, the market is so big, right? Go and pay some scouts to do some work. This is lazy purchasing, and I don't see him wanting to go to Wolves. The second thing is Datro Fofana. Datro Fofana has just been unlucky. I actually think there's a good player in there. I don't think it's Chelsea level. I don't think it's world-class level. I just think there's a good player in there. Someone that will have a Premier League career. Someone that could play in France, play in Italy, play in Spain. You know, like play in the top leagues and contribute. I'm not saying he's going to play for the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas. I'm saying, you know, mid-table, somewhere in the Getafe, somewhere in the Empoli, somewhere in a, you know, like a Como, so like a Everton level player. Wolves might be a good shout for him. You know, it's opened up. He could be there. He's a goal scorer. He's direct, likes to shoot. He's quick, well, was quick before his injuries. We don't know what he's like now. The problem is I don't know whether this is going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what is happening. At the moment, he's training with Alfie Gilchrist. He put a photo out. So what I want from all of you now is, in the comments below, let me know. Do you see Deassi going to Wolves? And do you see Datro Fofana leaving Chelsea to go to Wolves? Or what's their levels? And furthermore, we also have a video for you right here where I'm talking about my predictions. I talk about who I believe is going to win the league, the top 4. A lot of people didn't like my Chelsea take. I thought it was honest and it was transparent. It's what I do here. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Go check it out. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.